Okay, this is your number one soul brother Taalib. I just want to kick off this little basic general discussion in this video because I don't have much time. I got to get out of here. But however, I just before I do get out of here, I just want to relay some things to y'all out there in black social media and black YouTube, just to help keep your awareness up on what time it is. And in fact, like any other time, what we need to do if we want to really maintain our existence as a people in this nation. But however, I've been around here seeing that you really can't trust people. And I just want to piggyback off of something our brother Angel Snup Snup 7, whose platform I'm on, would say. You really cannot trust no one. It's really hard to trust people because you don't know if they gonna flip on you. You don't know if they gonna remain the same as being loyal. I mean, you just not certain about that. And that goes for anything in life, basically. And I'm seeing this, even with people, whether I just met them or I've been knowing them for quite some time, it really don't matter. In this world, it's a lot of distrust going on. And I can understand and see why there's a lot of distrust going on because of that. Because people just is so fake. People is so just fake and you can't really trust them. And that's just the bottom line to that, I mean, if I need somebody, to do something, or at least I need to depend on them for something, why they claim to be so real, and so down with you, but yet they not gonna be there in your corner when you really need them. You know what I'm saying? That's just a sign of fakeness, and I just don't got time for fake people. I really don't. I just, and I really never had time for fake people, to be honest. But I really don't have time for them as I really see what's going on, as far as the way this world is going, and the way things especially is going in this country among us as dark-skinned people of soul, who I also refer to as dark-skinned descendants of slaves born in America. I mean, it's a lot of fake individuals among us as a group of people. And, we just can't trust one another. Of course, the impact of slavery has a lot to do with that, of course. I understand that, but we're not willing to change that. This is one reason why we can't get nothing going to liberate ourselves, from racism and injustices and oppression that comes along with that. And I I really, what I'm saying, don't have too much time for that. So this is why me as an individual, I must maintain a small circle. It's unfortunate that it got to be that way, but until those from our group of people are willing to come together on a massive scale, or at least not just all, not necessarily all 44 plus million, but just enough to come together, then we could probably build some trust at that point, some real trust. But there's no trust. And I can understand and see why we need to learn from our past, as far as our history as a people. Even when it came down to the civil rights movement, it was a lot of infiltrating going on. It was a lot of double crossing going on, and it still is today among us as a group of people. And, and it's then got worse, mainly because we think we're free when we are not free. And see, that's the problem. When you think you're free, that's when things just get totally out of control. There's no principles. There's no loyalty. And this is the thing that our ancestors, even in chattel slavery, understood better than we did. And we're at a more advantage than they were, And we have no moral principles, no common courtesy, no respect for each other. But we wonder why no other people on the planet Earth respects us, or care what happens to us here in this country, It's because we don't respect ourselves and each other. And self-respect and respect for one another goes a long way, But we don't have no self-respect or respect for each other. And long as that continues, the option for us liberation, is not on the table. And I just have to honestly say that. Because, until respect is put in place for one another, then unity is just going to be put on hold. The ideal alone of unity is just going to be put on hold. Because we don't have no love, no respect for each other. We don't even care about our own children. That's why our children able to run out here in the streets and get killed by the racists, get killed by each other, be put in vulnerable situations like they always are, just to be neglected, because we don't have no love for each other, And this is the problem of why you got child abuse in our community that's so rampant, drug addiction, prostitution, gang banging, other forms of violence among each other, like killings and all that other stuff, drug dealing, because we don't have no love or respect. And respect starts, of course, with self, and we don't got that. We're very low on that end, Just like a Public Enemy once used to say, how low can you go? We have no, we have no respect for each other. And this is why other people could do what they want to do to us impunitively whenever they feel and get away with it. Simple as that, Because we don't have no love for each other. This is why every other immigrant group could come to this country and step all over us, like the racist has been doing for almost 500 years in this country, because we don't have no self-respect and no trust among each other. You know, we don't have no unity or respect for each other. We don't respect our women. You know, just like the Honorable Elijah Muhammad would say, this is why the Caucasian doesn't respect us, because we have no respect for our women. We don't protect our women like every other group of people in this nation does. You know? And that's definitely true. You know? We have no respect for ourselves. And this is the reason why we gonna keep getting exactly what we get as a people. Because of that. You know? And the fact that we don't have no respect for one another, you know, is because we were taught to have so much self-hatred for one another by the enemy. But also, it's also we're dealing with the fact that we had a lot of self-hatred among each other even prior to slavery. So with the enemy teaching us further to have more self-hatred for each other, just compounded that problem alone itself. But see, it's always a way to, you know, deal with a situation. You know, to help us get to a path to where we can overcome those dilemmas. But yet we choose not to do that, because we allow ourselves to maintain so much self-hatred among ourselves and each other. Is one reason why disloyalty remains a part of us as a group of people. Whether it's on an individual, one-on-one basis, or just on a broad scale in general as a people, you know. But we have you know, no love or respect for each other. And I mean, you know, I want to touch on something too, because, you know, a lot of things, you know what I'm saying, that's going on with us in this, you know, situation of distrust is that black people judge each other more than even the racists judge us. You know, we're so prejudgmental of each other than a racist even is. You know, whereas we don't like each other because of how we look, how we talk, how we walk, even to the point of what we wearing on our backs, what you know, the type of shoes we walk in, and all this other nonsense, you know. And it's just silly. You know, we don't like each other because you know, one is not attractive enough and this and that to the other one. You know, we don't like each other because, you know, how we wear our hair. You know, we don't like each other. All this little nitpicking petty crap I'm talking about, you know. We don't like each other because of where we from. You know, and I'm going to tell you something. Even when I was in the so-called conscious community back in the day, especially during the 90s hip-hop era, when that East and West Coast beef was going on, you know, behind the Tupac Shakur, Biggie Smalls rivalry situation, you know. I mean, I kind of, you know, fed off into that a little bit, not too much, but I kind of somewhat in my own way fed off into that. And I mean, you know, that's ignorant. Just because somebody is from another part of the country, you don't like them, so you want to kill them or fight them or whatever, or stab them or shoot them. or however that go, and it sick me, No parts of America give a damn about us. We don't even own not one part of America, not even the street or block we was raised on, let alone a city or a state or a regional part of the country. But we don't like each other because we from some other different part of the country, And that's one of the biggest, let alone, even in the penitentiary, you got brothers fighting against each other because they from different other parts of the state, that they are incarcerated in, or brothers in the federal prison system fighting against each other because they from different parts of the United States and don't like each other because of the other certain different parts of the United States they from and all this other crazy stuff, And I mean, this is just crazy. I mean, we have no, this what makes us really a target, especially for other people, that don't care for us to begin with, that don't like us to begin with, and that want to see us destroyed anyway. So, we leave ourselves open as a big target for these people, and I mean, this is, and what I'm saying also is that this so-called thing of distrust, equates with that. It equates with that type of situation, And I mean, we got to stop it. Unless we want to be really exterminated all together as a people, we got to stop this madness. But then I have to understand and come to the realization, even in saying all this as well, which I stand on, is that sometimes it is just certain people that can't be trusted. Whether it's for the sake of myself or for the sake in general of everybody else involved, far as us as a group of people. Since that's my thing of wanting liberation for all dark-skinned people of soul, who I refer to as dark-skinned descendants of slaves born here in America. It is just certain people that can't be trusted. Whether, like I say, on the personal, one-on-one level or on the general level, And that is a part of life, unfortunately, but it is what it is. And, I mean, people just can't be trusted. Some people just simply can't be trusted. And of course, the cloth I'm cut from, far as the streets go, I've always known that. But on other levels in life, I've been really seeing that too. Even though it's just different levels to the situation of distrust, but people just can't be trusted. People just cannot be trusted. Some people simply, you just got to, like somebody say, feed them with a long-handled spoon, But people just cannot be trusted because of that fact. Because you don't know who you're dealing with. Even people you've been knowing for decades all your life. You think you know them and then you find out they're a snake. After all them years you thought they was your ace coon boon. You always thought they was your number one ace coon boon. Y'all was that tight that couldn't nothing come between y'all, and you just found out they was a snake that you just got bit by, And that's just part of the reality of the situation. Because I've dealt with people in my so-called biological family, like that. So I know I've dealt with people that's not, relatives by blood like that, So I know how that plays out, and you just cannot really trust nobody. It's hard to really trust people. And I mean, I really hate that, we, especially black people in this country, are in such a bad position like that. But we do have to protect ourselves to some degree because of the fact that it's so much disloyalty going on among us. It's a lot of us among other mass incarcerated dark-skinned people or so that's in there that shouldn't be in there because of they so-called family members or because of they so-called friends that set them up or lied on them or got on the stand and testified and lied just to get them sent off to prison and all this kind of stuff when they ain't even supposed to be there. You see? So like I said before, it's hard to trust people, and that's just the reality of life. That's part of the reality of life. You cannot trust people. Everybody, you got to examine before you even consider on trusting people, whether that's a male or female too, period. You got to just, examine the person first before you just decide you want to put your trust in them and all that other kind of stuff. Because you get bit. Just like I was talking about by that rattlesnake, you just get bit and won't understand why. You just can't trust anybody. And that's just the bottom line. With me, for sure, they got to earn their trust. And it's just that simple. They got to earn their trust. It ain't no other way around that. They got to earn my trust before anything. They got to earn my trust. I don't care what the situation is. They must do whatever necessary steps it take to actually earn my trust. And it's just that simple. And I would expect for them to feel that way about me. Because I don't play games like that. If I'm going to be down for somebody, if I'm going to be in somebody's corner, or if I'm going to, be about keeping it, as they say, real, which I don't understand why people think they know what real means or what it means to be real when they really don't. But, I don't play no games like that. So I would expect people to feel the same way about me. And that's just straight up, I don't, them cat and mouse games, is serious. A lot of people have lost their lives over playing games like that with each other. That thing as far as disloyalty and distrust being concerned. So, got to understand that, it's just, you can't trust too many people out here. It's a lot of backstabbers. It's definitely a lot of backstabbers. And I don't care what color the skin of the person is. It's just a lot of backstabbers. Period. You cannot trust too many people at all. And of course, if you a dark-skinned descendant of a slave born in America, you definitely must know that you can't trust the races, not even far as you could see them. If you have any sense, you know, you understand? If you really, especially, you know, if you or your family had experiences, especially of racism, with racism in your life as a dark-skinned descendant of a slave born in America, you ought to be careful and definitely precautious not to be so quick to trust the racists. So that's a common sense right there. But you know, many of our people still do, unfortunately, regardless even of what happens to them at the hands of a racist. You know, they still trust them, which is sick, which I would say insanity as well, but you know, they trust them. I can't see it. You know? And that's what we got to do as a people. We got to, you know, channel that around some kind of way. If we want to last longer as a people, if we want to have our future generations to even be around, we got to change from that mentality. We got to get away from that mentality. And it's just that simple. Of being, you know, just openly trustful of anybody, let alone being distrustful of each other, but just going out your way being trustful of anybody without them earning your trust. You know, that's just like if a Caucasian tell me they not racist, like I'm just supposed to simply believe that and accept that. Well, they got to earn my trust by showing me to the fullest that they not racist. You know, and it's just that simple as that. You know, because so much crazy stuff happening in this racist society and in this world. I'm not that, you know, people just simply say things like you really just supposed to believe it, and that just ain't how things go. You know? So, you know, of course, like I said again, just because a Caucasian tell me they not racist, you know, of like those that say, some of those that say they don't see racism, of course, or whatever. Well, you got to show and improve that to earn my trust that you not. And that's just that simple. You know? And one way to earn my trust on that is to stop being silent of the racism that your people, you know, use to oppress other groups of people with. You know, which you turn the blind eye and being silent to. You know, until you stand up against your people that openly show they are racist, then as far as I'm concerned, you ain't no different from them in that manner. You know, a quiet racist is just as worse as a outright, as well as it's just as worse as an outright open racist. You know, and that's just a fact. Matter of fact, a quiet racist will stab you in the back very quicker than a, you know, outright open racist will. You know, just like Malcolm X said about the racists in the South and the North. The racists in the South will let you know straight to your face what they think about you. While the racists in the North will smile in your face, then as soon as you turn around, stab you in the back. You know, so like I said before, you know, you know, unless a Caucasian shows and improve that they not racist, not by what they say out their mouth, but through their own direct actions, other than what they say out their mouth, then they ain't gonna never earn my trust like that. You know, and I mean, it's unfortunate that it's other dark-skinned descendants of slaves born in America, you know, that don't see that. But they need to wake up and see that. You know? Then we wonder why our society is so much crazy like it is, because of this racial turmoil that's going on in America. You know, like Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. even once said, you know, the reason why things go on the way it go on in this world, because good people stand by and don't say nothing. And that's true. You know, that's definitely true. So, I mean, you know, we got to wake up and stop being so trustful of people that we think got our best interests. Whether it has something to do with just being an individual or just as a group of people, period. You know, we have to understand that. You just can't trust anybody. You know, you just cannot trust anybody. Because people will cross you. And that's just a fact. I've seen it in my own personal experiences in life. I've seen other people go through it. You know, people will cross you. You know, this is a cold world out here. It's a cold game, like somebody would say. But you know, it's just like somebody else would say. It's just a cold game. People will cross you. So, you know, like I say, you can't just take things like that for granted. Period. You cannot take things like that for granted. This is real out here. Because if you so trusting and you don't got your guards up to really protect yourself from this like you supposed to, you might just lose your life in the drop of a dime, just that quick, you know? So, I mean, you know, hey, I mean, it's just real out here. You know, and I just want to throw that out there as a sign of wisdom, just to let you know, be aware and be cautious and use precaution to protect yourself from this stuff when it comes to distrust. And also, don't be so openly trustful of people until they really earn your trust. And with that said, I'm Audi 5000 in peace.